Right, morning guys. Right, just going to show you a little bit of the prep work that we're doing for some of the crafty bits for Christmas that we're putting together. First bits, I've got some silver birch, got some cherry, some laurel, and something else that I don't know what it is. For our outdoor pots, we're just going to be using these. It's completely arbitrary how long you can cut these for it, and you'll see once they go in the pot. But the reason I'm cutting them all this morning is, although we're not doing my pots today, I'm going to one of my estates and I've got 8 pots in front of the blocks there, and I'm doing all of those today. And what I'll do is I'll take pictures of each pot and I'm going to do each one in a different design, and I might use it as kind of testers for me to see which ones I'd like to have in my pots, but also I'll have stills or video for you as well, so you can have a look and see what you'd like to do with yours, see what works together. So simple as literally as simple as that. What I'm going to do, and this one's got a cut edge to it already, which means it'll go into the pot quite easily. The other ones over here don't have cut ends yet, but I'll just do that with a jigsaw or a handsaw or something. Oh, fantastic. Right, that's my one's done. Now these ones I'm going to cut shorter, just because I just don't have enough of these. I've been hunting around to try and find them, but I've got just enough to do what I need for the pots at the other place. So I'm going to cut these into 3 or 4 individual lengths on each one of these branches that I've got. Won't be as fab when they're done, but it'll do for the purposes of today. So we've got a nice selection of timbers, and I'll show you those in the pots later. It's a bit of a cheat, but with the larger branches, I'm just going to tip these off so they're much easier to get into the soil. There you go, nice and easy. Right, now the other thing we're doing, so we've got the pots that we're going to be Christmas decorating, but also we're going to do some stuff for inside, and I'm going to be making some natural coasters and some placemats. This is Laurel. So all going to be different sizes, different shapes. Doesn't need to be the same depth, and for me personally, I actually prefer them when they're not the same depth. Yes, they're very close, but you don't need to measure to the centimetre and get one each cut the same way. I prefer it where there's a little bit of variation. Now I've cut some extra ones because I want to try a few different stains on these to see how the grain comes out. So I'll do that once these are all smoothed out and cleaned up. I'm also going to try one where I peel off the bark as well and see how the finish comes up with that too. Right, I do have another branch. I'm actually going to do the same thing as well and get some cut and see how the grain comes up on these, see if these are nicer. So that's now done with some spares. Okay, right now, so we're on to the pots. I'm just going to take you around and show you all the bits that I've got. I won't be able to use all of them because the pots just aren't big enough, but I'll show you a few ideas of what's here to use, how fabulous they look, what can go together, and hopefully give you some really good ideas to play with. So right, let's have a look. So we have rosemary. Now, this is a Cotoneaster. I think this variety is frigida. But just the berries are just stunning, and with these pots, bold is generally better, and that will probably just look amazing once it's in, but we'll see. This is spotted laurel, and it's got so much fruit on it, they're quite incredible. Then we've got 3 different types of cornice in here, mainly because the stems are just stunning colours, but also they've got this beautiful little berries on them as well, which are just fantastic. And then we've got laurel, just standard bog standard laurel. Now we've got some viburnum. Now this has been stored and it's kind of okay, but we'll just have to see if they actually work in the pot. Conifers, doesn't matter what kind of conifer. If you can get more than one type, so you've actually got a couple of different colours, so you've got one that's very green, another one that's got a yellow tinge to it, that would be brilliant. There's a variety of Leylandii called Castwellian Gold, which is very yellow. And then you've got basic Leylandii, which is basically what this is. I've got 2 different varieties in my garden. This has actually come from somewhere else. Okay, so next on to this, which is snowberry. Now, once you've cut this, be very, very gentle with it. The berries will bounce off very, very easily. So if you're really rough with it, you'll end up with no berries left on it. Right, now this one is a bit of a gem. I don't see this very often. I'll show you here. That. Aren't they amazing? This is Irish strawberry tree. And the fruit is just ridiculous. It looks fake. But I just happened to find this on one of my estates. I haven't seen one of these for about 12, 13 years. But they're just absolutely stunning. So I thought, yep, we've got to have some of that in there. So I've got a little bit of that. I'm sure I'll be able to use that somehow, somewhere. And then yew. Bog standard yew. Just gives us another bit of texture, another shade, another colour. And some good sized pieces in here, which should work really, really well. Then we've got a few different varieties of holly. We've got so we've got 2 different types of yellow variegated holly. Come to 3 different shades of yellow, and then we've got some white variegated holly, and then a slightly different yellow variegated there as well. And then we've got this one, which has even more yellow on it, but lots and lots of berries. So tons to choose from there. And then we've got a bog standard deep green, British Racing green holly there, which is brilliant. I might go and grab a bit more of that actually, because that's such a good colour. And then we've got orange pyracantha. Now for outdoor pots this isn't a problem, but for indoor pots you wouldn't necessarily want any berries, partly because they're going to be poisonous, and if you've got any little kiddies that like thinking they're sweets, they'll probably eat them and make them very ill. But for outdoors it's fine. And then we've got some red pyracantha in there as well. And the last one, which is great because I managed to find some of this, is the catkins of a hazel. And there's tons of them. Now, I've been collecting this stuff for the last 2 weeks, might even be 3 actually, and if I'd just cut it all and brought it back and left it in bags to use, it would have all died off by now. So what I did was all the cuttings that are a lot older, some of the new stuff has been in a bag for a week, but it's okay because it hasn't enough time, it's been quite cold. But what I've done is just put them in pots of water just to keep them healthy. And as you can see, you know, these have been sitting around for nearly 3 weeks, some of these, and they should have gone off and gone brown and died off, but they're all really, really healthy, so hopefully it should be good. I mean, I've actually got 3 bulk bags of other stuff I was thinking about using, but I just don't have enough pots. So right, so we'll stop that now and I'll show you how I do all the pots. Oh, one other thing. Some birch. And they're used to actually create the frame. So I will stop this now and then we'll jump onto that and I'll show you how it all goes. I'll show you the first part of it, how it started off, and then I'll speed it up, run through, get the pots done, and then you see what they look like at the end. Right, see you in a bit. Okay guys, right, well there you go. There's a large selection of plants for you to use for your Christmas pots. It's by no means exhaustive. You can literally choose whatever you like. If you've got stuff in your garden that you fancy using, just use it, as there's no reason why you can't. Ideally, if you can get something that's got Christmassy colours, greens and reds, that's better, but it doesn't have to. So already, now I've done 2 of my estates. One of them had 7 pots and I did them all different designs. And then I had another estate and I only had 2 small pots, and I was a bit limited with what I had there because I didn't take my stock of stuff with me, but I used what they had around site, and that didn't come up too bad. And one of the pots, within 30 seconds of me finishing it, there was a robin that came along and just jumped in and started eating all the fruit I put on there. Hopefully there'll be some left for Christmas. So yes, so I don't know how many videos it was put together. There's about 15, possibly 20 different plants there. Just was, you use whatever you like, and I'm sure it'll turn out good. All the different designs, just use your imagination. Just play with it and put it together. So you're only limited by your imagination on this, and don't let my imagination limit yours. So I will see you in a bit. I'll have these done shortly, and then we'll get on with doing the other video. Back soon.